Good morning. Today is Monday, November 3rd. This is Wake Up with KERA News, and I'm Andrew Garcia. Above normal temperatures begin today with highs ranging from the mid-70s to lower 80s, and we'll have clear skies. And things will be getting warmer as the week rolls on. A UT Arlington study finds that older children can fall behind on age-appropriate motor skill development. We'll learn more about that after the news. SNAP benefits ran out of money over the weekend, and a nonprofit Dallas kitchen hopes to help those affected. KERA's James Hartley reports Our Giving Kitchen made around 700 meals to distribute over the weekend.
Donald Henderson relies on SNAP benefits to help feed his children. The father of 5 works multiple jobs and said the benefits help make ends meet. He said free meals like those made by Our Giving Kitchen are a blessing and a lifeline.
I'm a young, black, struggling man, trying to make ends meet the legal way, I was once in the streets, selling drugs and all that stuff, but I turned my life around.
Henderson said those benefits have made it possible to redirect his life while keeping food on the table. For KERA News, I'm James Hartley in Dallas.
Irving is joining a growing list of cities discussing a potential pullout from DART. KERA's Andy Lusk has more.
Irving officials haven't kept their dissatisfaction with DART under wraps over the last few months. They've floated the idea of holding a 2026 withdrawal election before, like they did in the 1980s and 90s. In both of those elections, Irving voters chose to remain in DART.
The thing that I liked about my conversations with VIA was their way of doing business. They're putting the rider first.
That's Irving Mayor Rick Stouffer, who says the city has other transit options. According to the mayor, Irving is in ongoing conversations with ride-hailing program VIA and plans to speak with Uber. Stouffer says the city's current return on investment in DART isn't what officials are looking for. For KERA News, I'm Andy Lusk in Irving.
Parents celebrate when infants reach expected developments in motor skills, use of their hands, crawling, first steps, etc. But a UT Arlington study finds children who meet those standard milestones can fall behind later in age-appropriate motor skills. In today's Vital Signs, Dr. Priscilla Tamplane, director of UTA's Motor Development Lab, talked to KERA's Sam Baker about the reasons why.
We don't start throwing a ball because we turn 3 or 4 years of age. We practice a lot. We play with it. Someone teaches us how to do it, and we do it over and over again, and we get better at it. That's how we learn motor skills. What we see now is that children do not have all these opportunities and experiences. They don't go out and play as much. The parents don't spend a lot of time doing this with them. Schools do not have as much time devoted to physical education. They spend more time on screen time. So all these trends are causing this low motor skill sort of situation.
Isn't there a tendency, though, maybe on the part of parents or others, well, kids just develop at different rates. These things happen instinctively with children.
But think about this. If your child was having trouble with reading at school, they would probably get extra support for reading. I think we need to look at motor skills the same way. Motor skills have been linked to future physical and mental health. And being able to catch a ball, throw, kick, jump, cut with scissors, button a shirt, being able to do all these skills really well will help children, for example, join a group of kids. They're playing dodgeball or volleyball. Being able to ride a bike will help kids ride a bike to a friend's house and socialize that way. So having good motor skills help kids participate. And participation is essential for physical activity habits and for great mental health.
On the other hand, if the kids don't throw the ball as well, If they don't cut paper the same, other kids can notice and subject them to criticism.
Yeah, and that's where the mental health issues come from. A lot of early bullying in the school settings, for example, can come from children being quote unquote clumsy, being uncoordinated, and that can definitely lead to being teased.
How do you correct this problem when you see that kids are falling behind?
First of all, for parents, is making sure children have opportunities to develop motor skills. So they need to be able to play. They need to be enrolled in extracurricular activities that they like, but they need to have time and opportunities for that. If they're not participating as much, they don't play in recess. They're not excited about joining an activity where kids are moving around. I think it's something that needs to be looked at, and parents can bring this up to a pediatrician. They can take kids to a physical therapist, an occupational therapy.
You emphasize it is very important to address this as early as possible.
It just gets harder and harder later on to develop those skills. Older school-age kids are not interested in learning something that little kids are doing. We also see this associations between motor skills and especially mental health very early in childhood. So we see children, for example, about age 9 or 10, we see some differences in mental health. So we measure their motor skills and they're below average or well below average. And if we look at their anxiety or depressive symptoms, they tend to be low as well. So there's a strong association developing as early as age 9 or 10. So we want to catch this way before that.
Totally Made Up Musical is a one-of-a-kind show where a cast of musical improvisers creates an all-new show from a single audience suggestion. Every scene, every lyric, and even the music itself is created live on stage. Catch the singing, dancing, and chaos Tuesday evening at Stage West in Fort Worth. To see details and some more arts events, head to the Go See DFW calendar at keranews.org/calendar. Thank you for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. Before we wrap up today's episode, I've got a couple of updates for you. KERA is going to be winding down this podcast starting Wednesday, November 5th. But don't go anywhere. Our team is working on some exciting new ideas on ways to keep you connected to North Texas news and our community. As we work on these new projects, we'd love to hear from you. We want you to be a part of this process. If you'd like to stay connected with our team and share your feedback and ideas, email marketing@kera.org and we'll be in touch soon. Finally, one more update. It's bittersweet to share that I'll be leaving KERA for a new position back in my home state of California. My wife and I will get to be closer to our family, but we'll also be sadly leaving this amazing North Texas community and all of the dedicated listeners who help make KERA the vibrant public service that it is. Wednesday will be my last day on the air, but don't fret. You'll be hearing familiar voices on KERA News for a while, and I know you'll give a big Texas welcome to the next morning host. Thanks for listening to KERA News, and we'll see you tomorrow.